What's up, guys? Welcome back to another trade breakdown. The last video that I posted on this channel was actually the last trade that I took, and this is the next trade I took. Okay, so right here, took a trade on GJ. I was actually able to close with a little bit above $2,000, and the breakdown is very simple. Okay, like every video, like the last breakdown, I keep my system, the way I mark up my charts, how much I risk, I'll keep it the same exact way, and I just move systematically, so there's not much to think about. So I see we have a daily zone right here. We mark our daily zones red. Okay, why is this a daily zone? Because we have a rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, and we're respecting this zone where the line is at on the daily time frame. So I'm going to continue to mark up my other daily zones. Boom, right there. Well, actually, let me take my time and mark these off properly. Okay, boom, and boom. Alright, so this is what I marked off my daily zones this morning once I woke up. I realized that this morning I actually got approved for my FTMO account, so this was the first trade I took on my funded FTMO, which is pretty cool. But it's regular though. I'm working towards bigger goals, so this is honestly just like a regular morning for me, to be honest with you guys. So we go down to the 4-hour time frame. We mark off our 4-hour zones. What do I see though? This is the main thing I see. I see that this was a major support here on the daily time frame. We rejected it 3 times. We broke below, okay? But once we broke below, we did not hold this support right here. We did not hold this support as resistance. So I'm like, okay, so bet buys are in this market, and since we broke back above the support, I'll be expecting for it to act as support once again. So once we broke back above the support, once we broke back above the resistance right here, and obviously we retested right here as support, and now I'm expecting a move to correct the entire down move on the daily. So I'm actually expecting an entire correction of this. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I see on the daily time frame. We come down to the 4-hour time frame. What do we see? We see a 4-hour uptrend, okay? We see that right here. We had this 4-hour downtrend. Lower highs and lower lows, lower high, lower low, and right here, right when price broke above this last lower highs, all right, that's a confirmed 4-hour uptrend. Okay, so we break that, we retest it, everything is going as planned, price is respecting everything very well. So it's like, all right, bet we're on a 4-hour uptrend, and I see that we broke back into this daily support. We respected it, broke back above, broke the 4-hour downtrend. And now we're just moving up. Everything about this market right now is telling me buys, okay? So next thing I do, I mark off my 4-hour zone. So I mark that off. I make my 4-hour zones orange just so I can keep track of my zones. And I don't make my 4-hour zones visible on the daily time frame. It just makes it makes everything clear and simple and concise. Okay, so I see that, I see that, I see that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and now at this point in time, I move down to my 1 hour. When I first started looking at the market, price was down here. All right, and in my eyes, I'm like, all right, bet I'm looking for buys. Going down to the lower time frame, I see we're literally moving in zones. All right, we're literally consolidating between this zone right here. We broke out, retested, tested it again, broke out of this zone where the 4-hour zone, where the 4-hour line was placed for our 4-hour zone. We broke out of it, respected the daily zone. Okay, we pushed down a little bit and retested the 4-hour zone, which was once resistance, now acting as support on our uptrend. Okay, so that would have been a great place to buy, but I wasn't on the charts at this point in time. I was on the charts when it was in the middle of the zone. So I went down to the lower time frame, 30 minute. What do I see? I don't really see much on the 30 minute. We see that we kind of have this uptrend right here. Okay, but it's much more clear on the 15 minutes. So let's drop down to the 15-minute time frame. So I see that right here. We broke the daily zone. And as we found support at this daily zone that we have marked off, what do we have? We have a 15-minute break of structure. And this is what caused our uptrend, okay? Why is this a 15-minute break of structure? We have a double top right here. We came down, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high right here, and then a lower low. Then, after we made this lower high and lower low, we came and broke the lower high. So that is showing us that buyers are in this market, and this is what caused us to continue to buy upward. This right here would have been a great buy. Alright, but we weren't looking at the chart right there. That was like 12 a.m. We were looking at the chart right here. So once I seen us basically come back to our 4-hour zone and start to form an uptrend on the 15-minute time frame after this double bottom, I didn't want to take any trade below this double bottom. Reason being, this is a trend reversal signal, and unless I get a buy signal, I'm not going to buy. The only way I'll buy is coming above where these sellers were once at, right here. Because what is this showing us? It's showing us that this is where sellers are at in the market, where price is pushing downward, okay? So in my mind, I'm like, all right, the only way I'll buy is if we come down to this 4-hour zone and basically form a buy signal or break of structure like we did back down here. Or I'll wait for the break to the upside as the continuation of the uptrend. Okay, now this is at what time? 11:45 a.m. And then price moved pretty quickly to where and what I was looking for. So once price came back to the zone, I'm like, all right, this is an area that I want to start looking for a buy because we're back where these sellers are at. But if we go past where these sellers push price down, that means that buyers are more strong in this market, are stronger in this market, okay? So we come down to the 5-minute time frame so we can get our sniper entry. And what do we see? What do we see? We're close to breaking the daily zone. So keep in mind, so since we found resistance right here at the daily zone, this can also be considered the daily zone because this is where we found resistance at that zone. So the zone is not a specific price. Like the zone is not 176.560. That's not the zone. That's a specific price. You need to find where price finds resistance at the zone to make it more precise. You guys are following what I'm saying. So we found that resistance was formed at the daily zone right here. So once we break above this, that's a good sign that buyers are in this market and we're going to enter for a buy. So right there, price broke above, but I want to get a bit of a better entry. So what did I wait for? I just waited for a slight little retest of that zone. I just waited for a slight little retest of that zone. And so entry was like around there, and stop loss was right below our last lower low. Because what do we see here? An uptrend. And what do we want to do? Just go with the flow, go with the trend. So if we break back below this last higher low, not only are we breaking that structure, but we're also breaking back into the daily zone. We're not breaking out of it. We're breaking back into it, and that means that it'll be acting as resistance, okay? So when I took this trade, I was really looking for about like a 1 to 4 at least. That was my risk to reward. That was my reward to my risk. I was risking 1%, looking for a reward of 4%. As the trade played out, since it was later in the day, there wasn't much volume. Honestly, if this setup was here around like 10 a.m., 9 a.m., it would have been, most likely, it would have been at least a 3 to 1, 4 to 1, probably even 5 to 1. But since it was later on in the day, there wasn't much volume in the market. But this is basically how the trade played out once I took it. So we came back down. Right there was my entry. That's where I entered. And then just letting the trade play out. You know, we went into some drawdown, but at the end of the day, like when I go on drawdown, I'm like, yo, this is a good trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good trade. This is a good risk. My reward is there. And, you know, probabilities are my favorite because we're breaking through a daily zone to the upside while we're on an uptrend. Everything was really my favorite, so I wasn't really stressing it. You shouldn't really ever be stressing it. And then we pushed up. It's like, all right, bet. We're really working towards the upside. As we continue pushing up later on in the day. Now at this point in time, keep in mind I had my take profit right below this structure right here, because I'm like, all right, if we come back down, I really don't want to make this a losing day. not even a losing day, but even break even. I'd rather just take some profit. First trade on the account. And just keep it as that, because if I don't take profit there, then I would have to have my stop loss below there, below like the last 5 hour higher low. And I didn't really want to do that. So I just have my stop loss right there. But what do? We actually continued pushing up. So I'm like, yo, perfect. I'll take that. You know what I mean? So we continued pushing up. Now at this point in time, we're probably in profit around like $2,270. Still didn't take it. We're waiting for it to come to this zone and not break 5-minute structure. Okay, so that's what we're just waiting for. If it does either of those, then we close out of the trade. It's very simple, very systematic. So right here, as it came, it started consolidating. So this is about what? It consolidated in this area for about 30 minutes. And at this point in time, I'm like, all right, I'm at like a 2.5 to 1. I'm up $2,500 and it's consolidating right here. If we break below these wicks where it's kind of like holding support, I'm gonna get out of the trade, because most likely if we break below these wicks right here, we're gonna make a correction to the downside. I didn't feel like going that drawdown. Like I said, if it was earlier in the day, I would have been more likely to hold it, because that would be like usually when it's earlier, like 9 a.m. around New York session, there's more volume in the market. But the reason why I was going to get out right under here is because there wasn't much volume in the market. It's already 2 p.m. at this point in time. And that's when price starts to consolidate. It starts to do other types of things. So I didn't really want to stay in that. So now at this point in time, my take profit was right below here. And then that's basically where I got out. So I ended up closing out for literally like a 2 to 1. All right. Now it's just something like that. It's like, yo, that, you know, at the end of the day, that's a good trade. I just want to continue to give you guys these trade breakdowns and show you guys how simple trading can be. It really just takes a lot of practice and discipline and patience. You know what I mean? Because like for some people, if they see like prices in the middle of the zone, some people will just try to get in around here. Nah, just wait. Just wait for a good setup. So basically, like I said, once it came below that wick, it started to push down, and I didn't really want to go through all of that. So it came all the way back down. I would have been up like back to like $1,000, and I didn't really want to do that. I'll just take my $2,000 and call it a day. I don't really know what happened after that. It continued pushing up, and like it's pushing up right now. So most likely it will be pushing up to the zone that we already had marked off, but I didn't really feel like going through all of that, and especially it's 5 p.m. right now. I didn't really want to do it, but I figured I will give you guys this breakdown. A 2 to 1, you can't really get mad at a 2 to 1. It's a trading. Tomorrow may be a 1 to 1. Tomorrow may be a 5 to 1. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow may break even. It doesn't really matter. You just take what's given to you and make sure you do what you got to do systematically. Take the right setups, be patient, and be disciplined and everything like that. Course will be coming most likely in the new year. I want to be posting this content on here for you guys, so you guys can see that I'm actually trading. You know what I'm saying? Before I really start promoting any course or anything like that, I'm really out here trading. Oh, let me show you the profits. I didn't even show you. My fault. Yeah, it's a brand new account. And then when we come right here to the history, I took a small trade on EU. It broke even. Basically, I was probably up around $1,000, but I decided to break even on EU. And then I saw this GJ setup. I think this is like $2,088. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, $2,086. That's that setup. Very, very simple in my opinion. All right. I'll catch you guys. Peace.